Hello everyone, this is Dr. Rajni Goyal. Welcome to my class. Today we will discuss the topic materials and solutions. In this topic we will learn solute, solvent and solution, make solutions by using solute and solvent, methods of separation of solute and solvent from solution, sedimentation, filtration and evaporation, soluble and insoluble substances in liquids. First of all, I will tell you about materials. So materials are the matter from which a thing is or can be made. Suppose if we are talking about a furniture or chair, it is made up of a wood. So for chair, wood is the raw material. Similar in the case of clothes, for clothes, fabric is the raw material. So materials can be pure, impure, living or non-living matters. Now we will discuss about solution. Solution is a homogeneous mixture. Now what do you mean by homogeneous mixture? Homogeneous mixture has same proportion of its component. So solution is a homogeneous mixture of one or more solutes dissolved in a solvent. Solution can be in any phase, may be solid, liquid or gases. Now we know that blood is a solution of made up of four elements: RBCs, that is red blood cells, WBC, white blood cells, platelets and plasma. These three types of cells, RBCs, WBCs and platelets, together form blood cells, that is in the solid form, and plasma in the liquid form. So blood is the solution of blood cells and plasma. When the particles of a solid completely dissolve into liquid, they form solution. Solution has two parts, solute and solvent. Now I will explain you about the solute and solvent in detail. First of all, what is solvent? Solvent is the substance in which solute dissolves. This is the solute in which solute dissolve to produce a homogeneous mixture is called solvent. Or we can say that solvent is the substance that is present in the greatest amount, and solute are the substances that dissolve in a solvent to produce a homogeneous mixture. Here we will explain you about the some examples of solution, solute and solvent. Suppose if we are talking about saline solution, that means salt solution. Salt is the solute which is dissolved in water. Here water is the solvent. Both salt and water together form salt solution. Salt is present in the least amount and water is present in the greatest amount. So water is the solvent and salt is the solute. Same in the case of sugar solution. If we are talking about sugar solution, sugar is present in the least amount, so it is solute, and water is present in the greatest amount or higher amount, so it is called solvent. Both together form sugar solutions. For solutions with component in same phase, the substance present in lower concentration, they are solutes. If they are present in the highest abundance, is called solvent. Using air as an example, oxygen, quantity of oxygen is present in the air is 21% and carbon dioxide is 0.03%. They are solute. Why they are solute? Because they are present in lower concentration, while nitrogen gas is the solvent. Why it is solvent? Because it is present in the highest abundance, that is 78%. Now solubility means it is the property of a substance. Now we know that solute dissolve in a solvent. So the property of a substance to dissolve in a solvent to form a solution, that property is known as solubility. Now we know that water and salt both together form salt solution. They are soluble, but if we are talking about sand, sand is not dissolved in water, so it is insoluble in nature or insoluble in solution. On the basis of this solubility, substance can be defined as either soluble or insoluble. Soluble substances are the substances that can easily dissolve in a solvent, are called soluble substances. Some solids like sugar, salt can dissolve in water, so sugar salt is a soluble substances. Here sugar is the solute because it is present in the lower concentration and water is present in the highest abundance, so it is solvent. Both together form sugar solution and they are soluble. Sugar is dissolved or you can say soluble in water, so both together form soluble substances and sugar solution. Insoluble substances that does not dissolve in a particular solvent. For example, if we are talking about sand, earlier as I have explained to you that sand is not dissolved in water, so sand is insoluble in water. When you mix an insoluble solute in a liquid, you can still see the solid, whereas a soluble substances mix completely with the liquid and you cannot see the liquid in the solution. Now, solubility of substances in water. As we know that there are some substances which can dissolve in water but not in other liquids. For example, if we are talking about sugar, sugar can dissolve in water but not in oil. Similar in the case of glucose, detergent, salt and sugar. They can soluble or dissolve in water, but metal, wood, sand, plastic, they cannot be dissolved in water. Now, what do you mean by impurities? Impurities are the substances that make water dirty or unfit for us, are called impurities. Impurities can be of two types: soluble impurities and insoluble impurities. Soluble impurities can dissolve in water, but insoluble impurities cannot be dissolved in water. Example of soluble impurities are salt, sugar. Insoluble impurities like sand and pebbles. Soluble impurities cannot be seen in water because they are completely dissolved in water. Insoluble impurities cannot be dissolved in water, so they can be seen in water. Soluble impurities can be removed by evaporation method or distillation method. Insoluble impurities can be removed by filtration, sedimentation and decantation methods. Here, after that, I will explain you these methods in detail. First of all, we will discuss about evaporation. So, evaporation is the process which change water into water vapors with the help of heating. When suppose here we have taken the solution of salt. Salt, as we have earlier discussed, that salt is the solute and water is the solvent. Both together form salt solution. Now suppose if we are heating that salt solution, water will evaporate, or you can say water will change into water vapor with the help of heating, and salt, that is soluble impurities, will left behind it. So this process is called evaporation. Now I will explain you about distillation. Distillation is a refining process. With the help of this process, we can collect pure liquid or vapors with the help of heating and cooling the mixture. With the help of this method, we can distillate fermented products like alcohol with high content of alcohol, and we can separate other fermented products, and these products have commercial values, or you can say they can use with the purpose of business. With the help of distillation, we can distillate crude oil, and with the help of this crude oil, we can get petroleum also. Now filtration. Filtration is the process by which insoluble impurities can be removed by means of filter paper. Suppose here we have taken dirty water. Dirty water means in this water sand and water both are present. So it is passed through a filter paper, and this filter paper is capped on a funnel, and this funnel is capped on a beaker. When this water is poured on this filter paper, it seeps through filter paper and collects in a beaker. So impurities like sand are left on the filter paper, and pure liquid we can get from this method. Sedimentation. Sedimentation means water, here water containing insoluble impurities. We allowed to stand undisturbed this solution. After some time, the insoluble impurities, they are settled at the bottom of the container, and these impurities that settle at the bottom of the container are called sediments, and this process is called sedimentation. The rate of sedimentation can be improved by adding some chemicals called alum, and the process is called loading. Why we are adding this chemical like alum? Because the alum particles, they stick to the impurities and thus make them heavier, and with the help of alum we can remove that impurities very easily. Now I will explain you about the decantation. Decantation is the process of separation of liquid from solid and any other non-mixing liquids by removing the liquid layer at the top from the layer of solid or liquid below. That means, suppose we have taken the mixture of oil and water. As we know that oil and water both cannot mix with each other, so we leave this solution or we leave this mixture for some time, and two separate layers will be formed with water at the bottom and oil. As we know that oil is lighter, so it formed the layer at the top, and we can remove the oil layer from the top by pouring it into another vessel, which leave us with the water layer at the bottom. Thank you very much. I hope you have liked this video. If you like this video, please press like button, subscribe our channel. Thank you very much. Visit our channel for more videos so we can improve or we can put more videos for you.